Spawning in the blue color here on the Deathmatch Olympus map, this is Shelty. He's gonna be playing as Zeus. And on the other side, we have got in the red color, this is his opponent Yoshii, playing as Kronos. Everything sort of as expected. On Olympus, this is probably one of the best god picks. Zeus could be a little bit challenging, but the way Shelty plays is always hyper aggressive. We're gonna turn on the scoreboard. Now this is for the Deathmatch Revival Cup #1. Revival Cup because it will be a rolling series all the way until we have Retold. And then in Retold, there will, which is the remaster or remake of Age of Mythology, for those of you who don't know, it's currently in production. We don't know much, but it's coming. And when it comes, there will be a bigger Deathmatch League for sure. So this is in preparation for that. Now Deathmatch, to those of you who still don't know, starts with these high resources at the beginning. You get all the upgrades as everything is made available through age ups, which are also instant. Leads to a lot of flooding, and actually Shelty's in a little bit of trouble already. These oracles from Kronos with their hero form, max upgrades, focus from Kronos as well, are really a threat to the villagers for sure. Greek has to be careful with that. Sadly, Shelty didn't manage to make all his buildings, and now he's only producing from 3 military academies and his hoplites as well, which are going to be pretty hard countered by the Helepolis. A big problem for sure. But Shelty keeps his villagers alive, which is extremely important. He goes up to Mythic through Hera, otherwise he's picked Apollo and Athena, which is lending itself to a good aggressive style that he likes to play. Yoshii, on the other hand, he's gone for only 3 villagers forward. So he's got this triple palace here. I think he time shifted. No, he made a second temple actually. And he split the 4th villager onto this location. I'm pretty certain he has not made additional citizens as he was aging up. That was actually one that he got from after the fact. Now on Olympus there are 2 relics. Taking a super quick look, we've got the Blanket of Empress Zoe for building crush armor, which is great, especially against Kronos, where you'll see a lot of siphons. And then we got the Dwarven Calipers for siege cost reductions. Typically the Kronos player will pick up both, but this time Yoshii opted for the Oracle Rush instead, so he's not gonna have that. Now the siege discount is actually huge for Kronos because you already have 10%. You can stack this to go to 30%, because these bonuses are additive, not multiplicative. Belorphin's out, that's gonna be a huge help against both Fire Siphons as well as Hecka Giants. The Medusa need to try to stay on top of this, but Yoshii already microing back, keeping his Hecka Giants alive, using his limited Arcus heroes to take out the Medusa. They have 70% pierce armor and 500 health, a little bit buffed compared to normal on this DM patch to make Hera a little bit more viable. And they do snag a bunch of Hecka Giants, but really what you want from them is to snag multiple. And now Restoration is going to be used to keep this army going. Almost everything goes back to full health, except some Medusa. And what Shelty really needs next is to actually have a fortress. That would be great. But he used up most of his favor already. After all these towers, it's really time to start on that. Losing further Medusas, Yoshii's kill to death must be fantastic. He's at 45, 46 kills to death, kills versus 38. It's actually pretty fantastic. All these palaces up front now have the Blanket of Empress Zoe, by the way. So any siege that Shelty makes will end up doing a little bit less damage, stacking with the already existing upgrades. So that's 18% armor on these versus the 14% on Shelty's buildings. Hoplites haven't really gone around to raid, and they haven't prevented any town centers from coming up. So Yoshii heavily pumping away his economy into these hyper efficient citizens. Now they lose a bit of efficiency over time, especially as the gold mines dry up. It can be problematic. Yoshii has used, however, a lot of resources, especially on the wood department. You can see this. Now, will it be possible to vortex back for this? I would say not. That is 25 hoplites hitting the main right now, and Yoshii doesn't have what it takes to slow it down. All he can do is destroy this front line, but all the tower fire, all the defensive units of Shelty are making this tough. Hoplites should be able to destroy this town center just fine. And I think they're still gonna manage to get out, and Shelty has a lightning storm behind this, obviously, which you can use to hit this main army, which is mostly Arcus right now. That is exactly what you want to avoid as a Chronos player. You want to have a good army with siege ready for the vortex timings. Now, a lot of Shelty's buildings are being destroyed, but he made some backups. He'll have to make some further ones. And his villagers are just constantly on the tower task, it seems. The towers are Shelty's archers, essentially, right now. He doesn't have to make that many Toxotes, but he has a handful, which is not bad. Funny enough, Toxotes end up being a pretty good counter to Cairo Ballista. They don't have much health, they have a good amount of pierce armor, but you focus them down with some archers and they very quickly melt away. So that's something to keep in mind. You don't really need to make cavalry for that. Oh yeah, and we had Prometheus as well. That's right, Westerlong in the chat. That's actually interesting, because normally Chronos players would be just going for Leto. You get all these spiders, you get a bit of pierce armor improvements for your military units. It's pretty good. Prometheus doesn't give you anything much better. You get the hero discount from Heart of the Titans. That's 25% as opposed to the 20% of the normal game. DM patch a little bit generous there. But Prometheus isn't something that gets picked much anyway. Okay, Lightning Storm is going to be used, but there's a good amount of fire siphons here. Oh, Yoshii. He's just gonna vortex out of this on the defense, which is going to help a lot against these hoplites, although the siphons aren't exactly the best tool for that. I think the Heka Giant should be able to guard them sufficiently with the handful of Fanatics and Arcus. And then the building fire will take care of the Greek army for the most part. Shelty immediately running away with the hoplites. He knows he can't really stay here. Loses several on the way out. Oh my. I'm actually not sure 20 hoplites can take the main. There's plenty of repair here. There's going to be a temple. Yoshii blocks it with military academies. And they're gonna squeeze through just barely, but there's Cairo Ballista shooting at them. I don't know about this, Shelty. Almost all of his population is in the army. He's got 23 villagers total. Versus the 15 of Yoshii, but you have to multiply that by 3. Considering that he's Atlantean and all that. Oh boy. As I said, 20 hoplites, not gonna do it. One manor has been destroyed and that's oh my god. I have noticed that! Oh! Huge takedown on the main TC by Yoshii. He's got the cost relic as well now for the siphons, so making additional ones won't be as much of a stress. And I think he might have killed his own units here to spawn them faster on the other location. No, he did it to get fire siphons out. It's the master plan of Yoshii. He wants to do this again. Now, Belorphan will get rid of both of these fire siphons, it seems. But Yoshii is a patient man. He can wait a minute and get this all back. Funnily enough, Shelty hasn't lost that many resources somehow. He's still got a good amount of stuff left, considering that he has 0 town centers. But yeah, Yoshii is on top of this now. The Heka Giant is going to deny this once again, and Shelty doesn't have the villager numbers. Yoshii is going for the houses. That will force all the villagers to idle and not gather resources, and Shelty knows he can't retake this location either, so he's going to GG out. Yoshii heading towards 4 TC at the same time. And yeah, we're gonna have to go into game 2, where Shelty will be picking the next map. Here we are with game 2, and the map is Mirage. Shelty is gonna be playing as Oranos here. Never seen him play Oranos, so very curious to see what he will do. On the other side, we have got Yoshii playing Isis. Also would have never guessed it, going for the mercenary rush here. And I think Shelty is building up just fine at home. He uses his manors as part of the Merc block, and we've got 4 military barracks. He's gonna go Feya. This might be a Contarius rush. Is Shelty aware of the Cantarius Rush? Let's see. He's currently not switching off of Murmillos, but he might still do that. I'm gonna speed build the market with 2 citizens. No, he's moving off, Still making Murmillo, so it's not a Cantarius Rush at all, and some of the mercenaries are actually coming home to deal with the oracles. You might argue it's too many of them coming home, but you gotta be careful here. Yoshii is going to advance to Mythic through Thought, and that should cover him quite a bit here. If he can get this Migdal up, he isn't protecting it with a monument right now, so Shockwave could definitely hit these villagers and cause some chaos. The bird is already on the job, but Yoshii has the priest around the Pharaoh trying to run around the Migdal, and he gets in. Now he's just gonna need to make a few chariots, and then he can start swapping into... Ah, there goes the bird. He's got a bird of his own, he's got the Path of Argus relic already. For some line of sight, the Pharaoh survived sufficiently. And now it's Shelty's turn to get up some palaces. He's only got the one, so he hasn't split his villagers across different ones, and he's making Murmillo and Arcus, which is okay, but it's not the best kind of composition, especially if you're facing chariots and axemen. You're gonna want at least a few Cantarius, and maybe some early fire siphons wouldn't be bad. Actually didn't pay attention to the second god picked by Shelty. It looks like it was Prometheus. Interesting. Shockwave is going to stun these villagers for a long time, and it's very much increased in size in DM because it's a low impact god power, relatively speaking. So it's got a bigger stun, hits more units. It's kind of valuable like that now. Certainly hasn't been the case with the original. Alright, so where are the elephants? For now, Yoshii is opting for the Phoenix, which should be fairly easy to counter with a lot of Arcus heroes, but these are not regenerating Arcus heroes, so it's very difficult to survive against Chariot Focus Fire. And Yoshii just intelligently keeps putting them back. He's gonna have Eclipse at some point. I think he's just building up the numbers for it. He's not gonna need to use it early, right? Absolutely no rush. Yoshii has to abandon the Migdal in the back. He hasn't fully walled off. It's gonna take him a moment to take down those Arcus heroes in the back too. Shelty probably gonna get to 3 TC long before Yoshii, but Yoshii has this up. And if he uses Eclipse now, he could use this Phoenix to deny both town centers actually, but currently focus fired by Arcus heroes is a bit of a problem. Chariot's looking for a little raid. This is very heavily towered up, however, so they're not going to be able to very easily do anything here. What I'd like to see is for Yoshii to place them here out of range of the towers, and then he can shoot the town center with these burning pitch arrows. That should be actually pretty potent. Phoenix are only used for tanking against the Arcus here, really. Got a good number of elephants, however, on the front lines, and that's looking pretty good to me. Phoenix will start dying, but it's okay, you can get them back from the Phoenix egg, and then they don't cost any favor as you remake them. Only cost, there you go, 250 gold. Now, one thing that has happened to that, however, is the train time was increased a lot. So if you have the moment, if you have the attention for a moment to kill the egg, then the Phoenix won't actually hatch. Just gotta have the presence of mind for it. Okay, Yoshii currently not making any siege, which would, I think, help a lot. But he's not in a huge rush for that. Once again, not able to really set up that back TC. But he's pushing frontally, and he's added a handful of slingers, which are significantly buffed in DM, in terms of DPS. So taking down the Arcus should be absolutely no problem with that, especially with an elephant frontline and the chariots helping out. He's getting to a larger number of Phoenix on the front here. What's the relic here? It's the Girdle of Hippolyta for archer hit points. Got 3 monuments for Yoshii. It's not particularly enough for Phoenix spam, but he could make a 4th one and then he's pretty much good to go. And I definitely think he will wait with those. Eclipse can wait. Oh! Look at that, the Arcus have just killed a lot of the hurt chariots. Yoshii finally completes his 4th monument. Both players have a good amount of resources left though, so this will come down to vortexes versus meteor and all that. You probably don't want a meteor vortex army, as it will destroy your own base too. Shelty is on 3 TCs, so it's just a matter of building up the numbers now. He's got 160 population, he's got line of sight. I'd be surprised if he didn't vortex right on top of this. Oh. Well, maybe this. Oh, what? The citizens are coming forward. Interesting. Well, I suppose they could make a sky passage over there. And then one here. Shelty's gonna wait for the Dryads to complete as well, which have a pretty quick train time, so it won't be a long wait. Not by any means. Okay, Rock might finally get some jobs, as these siege towers are popping out, but for the moment I think just putting them on siphons is a good job. They are for sure scouting with that citizen. Where did the other 2 go? Did they just die? One's dead here, the other's dead there. Okay. Well, I almost want to say meteor that. It wouldn't be particularly good, but it would kill the Arcus, I think. I gotta say, it's impressive how good the KD for Shelty has been. I mean, he was fighting elephants and whatnot, right? That's not the brightest idea that Yoshii had. all these Arcus heroes are going to absolutely wipe the Phoenix. Not the best target for the Phoenix for sure. They're doing something, but it's not much. Anyways, here come the Mercs, and that should be taking care of the fire siphons. I kind of wish he used this Phoenix on the siphons and the Heckas. That would have been better, but oh well. Gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, the counterattack from Yoshii is actually huge here. He's got elephants and siege towers on top of this TC, and probably more coming. I mean, you could totally put a catapult there. It's a pretty good location for it. The Pharaoh is getting sniped during the Prosperity, but the towers will take care of the Arcus, no problem. The Prosperity will continue. And the TC will probably not be dropping here, as the Heka Giant is getting sniped by all sorts of stuff. 300 HP on this TC. Yoshi's like, yeah, we're gonna repair that. And Shelty is now building up on this location, but he's losing his own 3rd in the process. His reinforcements just not fast enough, and they happen to be destroyers and not fanatics. There's no repair on this TC, just 1 citizen, and it's not enough. If there had been a few fanatics, then maybe different story, or if the Cantarius attacked the siege. Yoshii with the taught camels? What? I mean, they're gonna counter the Cantarius, and they're pretty good against the siphons, but they're not that impressive, I suppose. Although the DM patch has significantly buffed camels. There's a lot of threats in such a late game situation. 2 camels, kinda needed that, especially the Isis and Set ones, which don't have any other bonus. I guess as Isis you can have your Osiris camels, but you actually have to go for that, so the base camel is better, is the point. And somewhat the Osiris camel has been buffed as well. Well, the catapults will keep this from coming up, and then 2-2 TC, I kind of favor Isis in this situation. How is our gold mining looking though? There are 5 Phoenix now for Yoshii. I think it's time soon to use Eclipse and Meteor and Locust, all these towers together. Would be pretty wild, but he would have to capture this Hesperus tree, as it covers pretty much everything. Here, you can totally use Meteor, but will it be worth it? There's a lot of barracks. I don't know. Number of towers is fairly low in this location right now, so Shelty might be able to break it, forcing Yoshii to move back. Could be pretty lit if that happens. Look at that. The citizen count of Shelty is actually maxed out. So with Yoshii having to retreat from this place, and not having many villagers, and not having a lot of gold, this could be a good moment for Shelty now. And remember, there's 2 more vortexes to pounce back with after. He gets several Arcus heroes and tries to thin out the Phonies. There's a pretty good amount of them right now. 8 Phoenixes total. Okay, 7. but that's still a pretty good number, especially if you can use Eclipse. I think Yoshi's waiting for the even bigger numbers. I mean, bird is the word, more power to him. He doesn't have a trade right now, so he's very heavily committed to this working. The slingers are working on the case, however. Finally targeting the Arcus heroes. There are more to come, but the 2 slingers should be able to do some work. Phoenix eggs are spawning, but they never do when you fly over a building or some unpassable terrain or whatever object, really. You have to be careful with that. The egg, it's awkward with that. So if you're not in the right place, you're not gonna get the resurrection. Slingers are not perfectly shift-clicked onto the heroes, so it will take a moment longer to take them all out. But it's getting done. Problem is, by the end of it, Yoshii only has 4 birds. But he continues the sieging from this location, and he's fully walled up. He loves making these little walls, by the way. It's super annoying to play against. For those of you wondering, back to 6 Phoenix. Shelty has plenty of favor. That's not going to be a problem with creation of Arcus heroes. He somehow went up to 30 citizens, so he must have 5 heroes. That's a lot of Atlantean citizens. It's definitely too much. Especially running out of the gold right now is a huge problem. He needs to take over this location, and if he does, I think that is when Yoshi's like, yeah, I got Locust, I got Eclipse for my Phoenix. Then Shelty can't Vortex. These citizens are in so much trouble right now. Come on, Yoshii. Click the button. Click the button, Yoshii. I know you want to... Oh, here it comes! Shelty's all test! Jesus Christ! He's gonna call GG. He knows he can't take the gold mine. He's gold starved. What a game. That was really intense. Yoshii also was probably going to be gold starved. He had some gold mines in the back, however, but Shelty just ate up those gold mines, dude. He just kept sending the military into Yoshii. 333 kills in such a short game is absolutely devastating, and Shelty's economy just couldn't keep up with that despite the higher gathering. We go with game 3. Shelty is opting to go with the Greeks, and this time he's going with Hades. On the other side, we've got Yoshii also opting with Hades. Absolutely bonkers. This matchup is super interesting, especially if you play with the different gods. Shelty is actually picking Athena here against Yoshii's Ares. Now that will have long-term implications. Ares gives you not only Pestilence in the early game, which you can use to gain a big lead at the beginning, but also these Cyclops are a lot tougher than the Minotaurs, although slower. But they can also pick up villagers just like the Minotaurs. They can smash some early buildings. And then you got the Toxotes upgrades from Ares, making them even better. Greek Scout isn't going to be able to do much here. Villagers are very well covered, and Shelty's building up a great wall of buildings. But if he builds everything in one location, he's gonna get Pestilence, and then Yoshii can just overwhelm, which is exactly what he's trying to do. He's flooding like mad. And he's got a full Sim City with a little wall piece. And he might as well wall off the back if he really wants to. He has enough villagers on the houses. He's getting a fortress. Shelty's doing none of that, but he's going Artemis, which should lend itself to some good aggression. And Yoshii's actually going for Hephaestus, so he's not looking to finish the game super fast. But those Colossi are certainly going to be a problem. The Cyclops has killed the villager, it seems, keeping that side of the map open. And for the moment, Shelty should be able to outflood Yoshii, but not for long. Pestilence will come around 2 minutes and some seconds. Depends on your age up exactly. But it's fairly soon. 2:30, it will definitely happen by then. And I really like Yoshii's choice of going with some Hippicons here. So the hoplites are not going to exactly devastate them, but they can tank a lot of fire from the Toxotes and get on top. In fact, the Toxodis of Shelty are gonna be slightly better than those of Yoshii, so that goes completely the other direction. Colossus shows up. And there is Perseus. Should take care of the Colossus for the moment. Where are Yoshi's heroes actually? He's getting some Peltast? Just in case there's Gastrophides on this side, so should be an easy path into the villagers. I would really like to see a Pestilence, but I think because of the 2 Chimera, Yoshi's opting not to do it. Where are his heroes, dude? He's got only Chiron out right now. That's weird. Perseus is ready to spawn. Ajax is in the queue. These Chimera are definitely gonna cause problems. These villagers not very secure there. And we're not gonna have the most effective Pestilence this game because of all this. The other relic would be the Tower of Cestus, which would significantly buff up these Hades towers. Really good mass of Toxodis. Yoshii is kind of suffering in the kill-death front because of this now. Chimera might be able to delay this TC significantly as well. But Chiron takes care of it. Shoots this thing down. Dude, these Toxodis are absolutely racking up a body count. 86 and counting versus just 62 kills. Yoshii doesn't have anything to kill units with here. The Shades being the perfect front line, nothing does bonus damages against them. So the main play for our Red Hades here would be to start getting Helepolis out, which would obviously take care of the Toxodis by just tanking their fire. Sentinels going to be used at the home TC. I assume Yoshii has some Gastrophides flooding in. But this looks very defendable to me. In fact, Shelty is going to go with an Underworld to home? What? I guess he's really confident in his ability to win by KD. He still has Restoration after all, which will help a lot with that. Second TC is about to be up. And he can always walk back through this Underworld. Yoshii's not really doing anything about it right now. He's building up his own Underworld. And it's going to go after this town center. Good that he did it before Earthquake, because the Earthquake on the Underworld would destroy it immediately. Leaving not much on this side of the map to attack with. Yoshii attempting to wall this up, but that's probably not gonna happen. Pestilence coming in clutch. But Yoshii's under popped right now. The Toxodis will do a number to his units here. So the best option right now is to destroy this TC, fortify this a little bit so that he doesn't get destroyed by Earthquake, which if you click in the back here, it will absolutely destroy the TC. Getting this TC up would be fantastic as well. Restoration is not going to save the town center at all because it's attacking. Very rarely in a laggy game, it might actually fully heal up. Because the game wouldn't recognize that the TC is attacking, in fact. If your units are doing any action, healing is reduced. But I think Yoshii here is doing a significant amount of damage, but look at all those resources in Shelty's bank. He can definitely keep going for a long time, so long as nothing of his gets denied in the back here. Very easy for Yoshii to make a single Gastrophides and delay this completely. Also, you can just go back through the Underworld and chill. His third TC is on the way again. It's being restarted. Restarting his towers and all that. The Toxodis might be able to find an angle from the back here to once again be annoying. But so long as Yoshii can just maintain his economy a little bit, start to trade up, which he is, secure a market, I think it's all good actually. But he really doesn't have anything right now on Shelty's economy, that's for sure. This army, however, is spooky, especially the double Colossus. There's a Bellerophon, but also plenty of archers to deal with him. I think he still gets the Colossus though. He's looking and microing very well. Gets a tower relic, Yoshii does. 17.6 attack. On the towers, that is per projectile as well. Colossus will be taken care of. Shelty gets the back TC up. So for the moment, he's able to sustain production. The Chimera is joining in. And yeah, Yoshii knows he's running out of gold. He can't sustain this anymore. Hades gets a little bit of free gold though. So don't forget. Oh, he comes right back. Well, the Colossus just gets eaten up. And in fact, the Toxotes will delete the underworld. Bunch of units stay behind, they'll all die. Colossus isn't gonna be long for this world. And Yoshii has to restart the business. Shelty just calmly remaking his town center. He's got not a lot of wood right now. I guess he made a lot of Toxotes this game. So maybe switching over some of the TCs to wood will be important. Look at all those Toxotes, dude. Actually, I'm not sure they can fight this army because of the Helepolis. Chiron gets sniped. Yoshii is not paying attention to this. He just clicked the TC and it's all good. Oh man, he's gonna deny it, sure. But that's an expensive army. And Yoshii at the moment doesn't have the gold to max out here. But he has the free TCs. Everyone's pumping villagers onto the important resources. That's right now wood and gold. But soon he needs to add a little bit of food in there. There's not much hunt to go around, of course, so... I guess he has 5 farms. And some more somewhere. There's 5 more farms. Okay, that's actually good enough. You don't need more than 12 farms, really, as Hades. As you'll make a very archer-heavy and siege-heavy army. The Paltas are a nice cheap addition here to take care of the Toxotes. Would be much cheaper than him spamming his own Toxotes, and he certainly has the micro to pull it off. Paltas are significantly buffed in DM. It is 8 DPS, and they maintain the same bonus damage as they do in normal unpatched games. Alright, it looks like the Helepolis are finally taken care of. Yoshii is struggling with the population for sure, but not for long. He's got a good income now. 28 villagers from gold, yeah, that will do it. 19, 20 villagers from wood. He's stable now. So if he just can take one moment to rebuild his army, he should be good from here. But Shelty is still good from here. He doesn't have quite the villager count, but he certainly had the kill to death efficiency. 260 to 205. Way higher impact on the resources, as you can see. The numbers for Shelty are way bigger than these. Almost double in the food department as well. Wow. Extra 50% on the gold KD. As long as Shelty gets this back, he's also fine. Now trying to block out Colossus and Helepolis. He needs to do that. Oh! More buildings, Shelty, more buildings! Oh my god, he's not doing it. I'm pretty sure the Helepolis can deny this TC now. Oh, Shelty, you needed to make some buildings. Oh my god. 4,200! Yoshi's not looking. Oh, it's a miracle. Shelty is potentially saved by that, as Yoshii is running low on resources. Thanks for the follow, Lordy. Yeah, Yoshii is running real low on resources. But he's maxed out on Veils, so he no longer needs to train them. The caravan production is going to continue for a while. But all he needs to do is just get rid of this market that will cut that production in half instantly and increase his actual gold income. He has enough caravans in general, I'm pretty sure. 26, that's too much. Shelty might be able to push now because Yoshii has too much eco. Yoshii actually has too much eco. But these towers are absolutely bonkers. He's got all the heroes. The Chimeras won't be able to do much of anything. In fact, if the Chimeras kill something, it will help Yoshii. Please stop the caravans. Oh man. Make it stop. I like how he garrisoned the Toxotes into the Helepolis, saving them from this army. Shelty is kind of in 2 places at once, trying to make a push happen. Yoshii, I think, is very happy if he loses to Vils. Just needs to make a little bit of army to protect himself there. Oh, what is this? We're wanting ourselves in. I don't think this villager can make it. But he can, he finished the wall. It's something. The kitchen knives are gonna go down here. Right, Yoshii can just rely on his towers now, maybe make some more of those. Number of Gastrophides in here is just the one. The tower can absolutely reach it. There's more than enough defenses here. Yoshi's starting to lose some villagers. 34 caravans now. Finally stopped his caravan training. He's more than happy for Shouty to kill some, I think, at this point, as his goat is increasing like mad. One thing that he could do is put down like 5 temples here and start pumping Colossus like a madman. Just putting all the gold villagers on favor. It's good they only got 4 vills on favor, so that's definitely not enough for a Colossus pump, but you switch over like 20 vills, that's very rapidly going to change. So yeah, peaceful game for the moment. As long as Yoshi's eco is this big, it's Shouty is gonna do the pushing. Getting up there in the resource department. Still plenty of gold mines left as well. I think, you know what, Shouty is actually pushing so well here. If he pumps out a few villagers, if he starts making fortresses and towers here, I'm not sure Yoshii can stop it right now, because he's struggling against just the army itself, because he's over-ecoed. If Shouty has buildings to back this up with, he doesn't need Toxotes anymore. He doesn't need Toxotes anymore, he can make more siege and that will push. Or even just more Gastrophides instead of Toxotes. Just to take care of the buildings. The towers are your Toxotes. It's all good. But the counterattack, Shouty is absolutely nothing to defend with. He has 8 villagers. They're gonna get shredded by the heroes. He will destroy the trade TC, however, but also a lot of villagers going down for Yoshii, which is actually a helpful thing right now. Shouty can't afford losing this. He needs that trade. He needs the villagers. He needs some food income too. And that's just not happening here. One Helepolis is left. It will slowly tear this down. And again, Yoshi's getting cut into right now. Still 34 caravans for Yoshii. I think when you have this much resources, you kind of wanna not do that anymore. Villagers coming forward. Not sure where. I think they might just try to build a TC. We're about to find out. Perseus grabbing the Gastrophides is pretty huge here. It's just a good raid overall when you back up your siege units with a little bit of heroes so that the myth units don't wreck you. Slowly training Hippicons into this, which can tank the Archer Fire, as I said earlier many times. The Shades helping a little bit as well as these human units die. And yeah, I think Yoshii just takes this TC. Full on base trade situation. Shouty is doing the same thing, but with fewer villagers. Could be a problem. Yoshii did not delete a single caravan. Very shocked about that, but it is what it is. Heavily fortifying this location now. The villagers pop through the underworld passage to repair it and keep it going. Shouty desperately pulling as many units as he can to hold this location while pushing himself. Lots of villagers coming forward for Yoshii, willing to be sacrificed for the greater good. And there goes Yoshii trying to take DC directly, very directly in fact. A bunch of these villagers would also join, it will be even faster. The Gastrophides are around. Towers will absolutely shred them, but they can also deny the settlement itself. If they just focus fire, 2 volleys is all it takes. TC goes down very fast to Gastrophides fire, but looks like there's more than enough defenses, and Yoshii can handle it himself. About this, I mean, the towers are coming up, but suddenly Shouty doesn't have an army here. It's all gone. So Yoshii is definitely ahead in this situation. And the Gashafidis do manage to stop the town center. Despite all the army that Yoshii has brought. Guess the one important move now is to take down this underworld passage. It really can't wait anymore. I guess Yoshii does have the economy to keep going for a long time though. 54 per trade trip versus 51. Not a big difference. It's about the numbers. Yoshii has 1 million resources now, and Shelty has never really established himself. His villagers are randomly chopping down trees here. As the towers are distracted by a storehouse. Hoplite can hop in. Colossus? Where did this come from? Where did that Colossus come from? Well, I still don't think Yoshii will build this now. With the Gashafidis having cleaned things up, if they can get rid of the towers, actually Shelty is in an okay position. He can jump back through the underworld passage to here and continue his sieging operations. Just wasted Yoshii a lot of time. This is pretty good stuff. Taking down the towers, but Shelty's eco man, he's managing to stay max just by the skin of his teeth. Oh, the relics! No. I know exactly what this is. Big shame about the relics, but what Yoshii is doing is he's building up his shade count in the background. You can actually exceed the shade limit if you don't have a temple. It's a bit of a situation with that. But he's doing a Hades Shade Ragnarok. This is amazing. Don't be shocked when it happens. I already warned you. What you gotta do is prepare. Mass walls, mass towers. That's what it's gonna take, because those things don't take bonus damage from anything. Doesn't look like Yoshii can hold his TC again. Gastrophides versus Gastrophides action. They're going down pretty quick. But it seems to me the 3 Toxolis are actually enough to deny this. Yoshii will need more villagers for this. He's bringing in some Peltas to try and do something about this. Two Colossus trying to attack us, but we've got 3 Chimeras on the job. Seems more than enough to take care of this. Still 7,000 resources in the bank for Yoshii, an ungodly amount of trade, plus plenty vault. It all adds up. Again, losing villagers is helpful. Woo. Centaur getting taken down, and next we got the houses. Cursors taking down the Chimera. But there's more Chimera. Can they find a villager group? Yoshii spread them out pretty well, which makes raids rather ineffective population-wise. These are 15 population, 12 population in Chimera running around. And most of Yoshii's economy is really just trade. Oh, he catches the vills. That's pretty good. But again, Yoshii don't care. He can trade resources all day. He's picking up the shit. He's picking up the Sentinels with the Helepolis. Oh my god, they're leaving the platforms. Chimera taking a little bit of fire. Literally. But the hero squad comes to save the day. Here come the Sentinels, they're going to the front lines. The Colossus are already sieging Shelty's main. This might be it. Time to remake that temple, and it's been done. Where are the shades? Okay, I think what happened is Yoshii actually didn't lose that many units, so there was nothing to spawn because it's only human units that count. So nothing really happened. Okay, that's disappointing. TC stays up as well. Which is actually a good job by Shelty to protect it so well. Alright. Sentinels now on the front line. Five of them, obviously, on the extended edition patch. Oh my. Shelty says, you know it's bad when you can't afford a storehouse. Oh no. He's gonna lose the TC. The Petrobolos. Oh my god, it's just enough to survive. That is bonkers, dude. He brought the Sentinels to the front lines. They're actually doing a really good job, and he's doing the pickup micro with the Helepolis to keep them alive. He says, don't worry about it. Shh, just let it happen. Oh my god, Yoshii is such a memer. I love it. I'm glad we were here to witness this today. But here come the Petrobolos spam. There's 3 of them right now, plus the Helepolis itself, and Shelty is going to have to tap out, making this a 3-0 victory to Yoshii, who's now going to the winners finals of the Deathmatch Survival Cup #1. Shelty going through the losers bracket. We'll see in a second where exactly. The kill death was in favor of Shelty, at least. He destroyed more stuff. 18 Chimera. I agree with Yoshii that in this matchup, on a big map especially, if you go for Artemis, it's pretty high risk, high reward. Look at that economy of Yoshii's. Jeez. That's plenty watt plus the caravan surplus. And it really carried him.